right, so this is the federal poverty level. This is the actual website. For those of you guys watching the recording, it's www.coveredca, which is California.com/PDFS/ whatever. So write that down. It's in the chat if you were live, but if you're not live, it's here. Everything is going to be based on federal poverty level as far as credits are concerned. I want to show you guys how to read this and how to move forward with this. So number one, the number of people per household. Keep in mind, this is going to be based on your taxes. All right. A lot of people get confused about this, especially nowadays that you have multi-generations living in the same house. You may have like a set of grandparents. You may have two nuclear families, sisters move in with their husbands and their kids, or brothers and sisters move in with their husband and kids. And then you might have a house, in the Spanish community, I see this all the time, where you may have a house 10, 12 people deep. That doesn't mean they got a household of 12. All right. We're going to go by the household size of the taxes. So let's say grandma and grandpa are one tax, are filing taxes together. Okay. And they're under 65. They're not Medicare. You're going to use that household. Sometimes you find grandpa's on Medicare, grandma's not on Medicare. You're still going to use grandpa and grandpa's, if they file jointly, that tax return. And that's a household of two. If it's a family of mom, dad, and 2 or 3 kids, okay, mom, dad, and 2 kids, and they file jointly, then you're going to use that tax return, right? Mom, dad, and 2 kids, that's a household of 4, okay? If they live with a sister, if they live with a cousin, somebody else lives in the household, but they file taxes separately, mom, dad, and 4 kids, now that's a household of 6. Are we clear with that? You guys understand what I'm saying? That's very important, especially in today's world, right?
Yes.
So we got to make sure that we're doing it together. The second thing is that we're going to look at is adjusted gross income. Now, guys, this is the part where it becomes fun because it's not about last year's adjusted gross income. It's not even about this year's adjusted gross income. If you're writing 2025 plans, it's based on 2025's adjusted gross income. So if you go to your local Dollar Tree and you find yourself a little crystal ball and you bring it home, right, guys? This is funny. This is good material here. You better start laughing because now I'm gonna go home. You get that crystal ball, and you kind of make a projection of what next year's adjusted gross income is going to be. Now, folks, this ain't the time to get optimistic. All right, this is not the time like, oh yeah, I'm a network marketer, and next year I'm gonna make $400 million, and I don't need this and that and the other. No. Like, dude, you've been trying network marketing for 20 years, and you average about 30,000 a year. Let's go with 30,000 a year. All right. If you make more, we'll figure that out later. Okay. But right now, let's go with what's a realistic projected income for next year. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yep.
If they're W-2 employees, mom and dad work at a job, they get a W-2 at the end of the year. That's easy, right? If they're insurance brokers, real estate, self-employed, they sell cookies, CBD, whatever they sell on the side, whatever they're going to report is what we're going to have a conversation on, okay? So that's going to be adjusted gross income. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. So during ROI, which is rest of the year, right? We're trying to get that SCP of 100 to 150. We're not worried about that right now. Okay, right now everybody qualifies for ACA. Did you follow what I said? Like, we're not worried about, if they make 100,000, 150. Those people that are making 100,000.
Armando, sorry. Can you give me access to let people in? Because in the chat, people are saying that they're trying to get in and they're not being allowed in.
Well, I didn't see anybody come through, but okay. Let me give you access.
Progress.
All right. I'll give you access. I'll give Ms. Chambers access. I'll give Mr. Dan access. So somebody coming through? Let them in. All right. So Number of people per taxes, that's the household. And now we're not worried about the percentage necessarily for enrollment. Everybody qualifies this time of year. Okay, everybody's going to qualify for this time of year. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You're going to do the math based on adjusted gross income, right? So if your projection, husband and wife, family of 6, right? And next year you're going to make 60, $30,000 and $30,000, $60,000 combined, then you're going to fall into this in this category here. Okay. If you're projecting to make, and this is where the self-employed people, your realtors and your network marketers and stuff like that. Let's say you're projected to make $110,000. You would be here. But if historically you've made $60,000 combined, let's go with your historic income. And I'm going to tell you why. 2 major reasons. Number one, they're probably going to make 60,000. Right? And I'm not mad at them. I'm just saying I've been around the industry long enough that, optimism is one thing, but the reality is another. Number two, the benefits on the same plan, it could be an Ambetter Silver CRS, a plan. The benefits are going to be richer, meaning lower MOOP, lower out of pocket, lower doctor visit, lower everything. I'll show you that here in a second. For a family that makes 60,000 versus a family that makes 110,000. Now there will be a difference if they do end up making 110,000. They're going to have to pay a little bit more, and when they do file their taxes. However, they've enjoyed the lower income benefits throughout the year. Okay? Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Mm, not really to me.
I'll show you that in a second. I'll show you that.
Okay, thank you.
So here's going to be adjusted based on adjusted gross income throughout the year. Okay? So now let's get into the nitty gritty. So everybody should have this chart. I already put it in the chat. For those of you guys came in a little bit late, let me copy and paste it again. I'm going to put it in the chat. Dr. Eugene is in the house. All right. And Harleen is in the house. All right. Dr. Eugene, make sure that you can click on that. Arlene as well. I think Tracy, you said that you can click on. You guys have it, and then save it, guys. I would save this. Put a star back here, and then put it in your bookmarks. Look how I do it. I have everything organized here in my bookmarks. I have everything under ACA that I need, and everything under Medicare that I need. So open up those folders and just save everything. So that way, when you're in front of a client, you're not fumbling all over the place. You got everything like right there. I gotta do that. Some of this.
Armando, I saw those bookmarks last time and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know we can do that.
Yeah,
After I saw you how organized you were, I had to go do that. Learn how to do that.
Oh man, it's a life changer as far as like saving time. So you click on the star, you add the name, and then you put it in the folder. And if you don't have the folder here, you just add choose another folder and then add a new folder and you put it in there. So yeah, absolutely. That's my highest recommendation as to one of the top things to make your life easier. And you're really going to use FPL chart and Health Sherpa. Those are the 2 things that you're going to use here. Okay. Now let's get into Health Sherpa. The present government administration has nothing else to do with their time, and probably next administration the same thing. Except for like find ways to play with our brains, right? So now they came up with this infinite intellectual decision, which is you have to reintegrate your Sherpa with CMS every 12 hours. So pretty much every day you're gonna have to go in there and reintegrate. Okay, as long as you have it saved on your computer, you shouldn't have any problems. You're gonna reintegrate here. You should have it all saved here. Agree, sign in. It's gonna send you a text message. You're going to get the code off your text message, and you're going to sign in. Okay? And once you sign in, this is the part where I'm going to stop the recording because I have personal information of clients here that I don't want to share with the world. Actually, I can do this first part here. So you're going to go into Sherpa, And if you're not yet aligned with us in Sherpa, please reach out to me and I'll make sure that you get the alignment correctly. Your Sherpa needs to be aligned with us so that I can see your numbers. It counts for your promotion, it counts for bonuses, it counts for a bunch of stuff, right? So make sure that you guys are connected with Powerhouse. I'll show you where to look at that here. So you're going to go to dashboard. You're going to go to your settings and you're going to scroll down here and make sure that your agency is aligned with Powerhouse, okay? This is the agency code. So if you guys are not, go in there and connect with Powerhouse. Let me put this in the chat. And that's going to be 31 little c 0, okay? 31 little c 0 is going to be the agency code. Make sure that you're aligned with us. That way we have line of sight. We can help you with your commissions. We can help you with bonuses and all that stuff, okay? Now,
Armando,
yes, sir.
on yours it says New Health Plans Agency.
Well, that's just because we're under their umbrella, so don't worry about that necessarily. Your
Okay.
guys are going to be under Powerhouse FIN. Okay.
Cool.
Now you're going to quote on exchange, and we're going to go through this exercise together. So here's a long story short. Many years ago, I didn't fill these out, and I was having random quotes. Today, life is good for you guys. Everything is like ironed out. So here, you're going to put 33897 as an example. Okay. Make sure, I'm sorry, I go left to right, top to bottom. Left to right, top to bottom, just like you read a newspaper. Those of you guys who still read newspapers. Zip code, number of people in the household. I'm going to use me, household of 6, right? And then you're going to have which county. Some zip codes have multiple counties. So in this case, I live in the Polk County side. Now here, you need to add everybody by age. So 47 male at a household. Wife is 44 female. And by the way, guys, nowadays, if they're married, male, male, female, female, that right, put it in there. Okay, that's not. It's part of today's world, right? The ages of the kids: 19 male at 16 male, 11 male, and 8 female. Okay. Now watch this. This is a household of 6, and we have 6 people here. You follow me? Let's use an income for 2025 of 45,000. Okay. An income of 45,000. Now, if you look at the household of 6, 45,000, you're someplace between 100 and 138, which means that we're really, really poor. Again, this is just for illustration purposes, guys. I want to show you guys the differences, right? So you're down here below the 138. I'm self-employed, so we're gonna have fluctuations. Let's call it closer to 138, which will be 55,000. Okay. And watch this, guys. You see what I just did there? 55, 124. Do not put 000. If you put 000, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to verify income. If you do a round number or like an odd number like that, you should be okay. All right. Now, in some jurisdictions, I don't know how they calculate it, but it's going to say not eligible or eligible for CHIPS or Florida Medicaid. Okay. If they have not applied for Medicaid, go ahead and just click on here. Okay. Some people don't like to use Medicaid for their family. Some people do. If you want to use Medicaid, keep in mind that those will be not applied and their information will be sent to the state. They will probably get accepted or denied, but you will not get commissions for Medicaid. Write that down. I will not get commissions for Medicaid. Okay. I know a lot of new people are on the line, and it's funny because my veterans, right? I don't get very much calls from Gail and from my veterans. They know what they're doing. the new people tend to find interesting subjects throughout the year, right? I think Harleen, you asked recently, if or somebody asked, maybe Tracy or somebody, if somebody here on a tourist visa, or if somebody's here, you know, I don't know, you guys come up with like funny scenarios. Like, I got a guy who has a camel and the dog, and they want to know if we could, the dog and the camel are dependents. No, they're not. I used to try to figure out how they could be, or I used to try to figure out things. I'm trying to be funny, but I'm not. But the reality is, stick to what works. The number of people in a household qualified with FPL chart, human life individuals, they either got to be citizens of the United States, residents, permanent residents of the United States, and/or on some kind of immigratory status, meaning they have to have an I-94, a work permit, some kind of immigratory status. Okay, if they came over the border and they never have turned themselves in, they never have an immigratory status, they do not qualify for ACA. Am I clear? And that's happening all over the country now, including Ohio, Dan. All over the country, you're going to find that those scenarios. Okay, so they have to have U.S. citizenship, permanent residency, or some kind of immigratory status. Okay, now the one that you're going to see the most is I-94s, which is also known as a catch and release. Somebody came over the border, they turned themselves into the Border Patrol. Border Patrol gave them an I-94 and says, okay, you have a court date of December 6th, 3074. Like way into the future. That person does qualify for Obamacare. Are we clear? All right. So the kids, I like to put the kids on the plan. If they do apply for Medicaid and then they get accepted into Medicaid, they'll fall off your books. That's okay. But in the meantime, you're guaranteeing them that they're going to have coverage. Any questions on that? All right, cool. And then comes the fun part. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. If you, at this point, you are not yet contracted, you're going to have to use an NPN override. Okay? So if you're not contracted for Aetna, as an example, you're going to have to use an NPN override. It's too late to get contracted for 2020, for this sales season. Okay? So, but if you are contracted with certain carriers, let's say you're contracted with Aetna, Ambetter, Molina, Oscar, Health First, Simply, and United, right? We do not do Florida Blue for the most part, unless if you're like in a specific rural area that only has Blue, then give me a call. There's an NPN override for that, but we're trying not to do Blue at this point in time, okay? You're going to choose the carriers that you are contracted with. You personally are contracted with. And if you're not contracted with them, then make sure that I am contracted with them, and then you could use my NPN as an override, right? But just reach out to me. Like if you're in Ohio and you don't have Oscar, right? And you don't write too much Oscar. Now, Oscar is the only one that I want to tell you guys, you need to have at least 10 members for them to spit out a paycheck every month. If you do not have 10 members, you're working for Oscar for free. Did I make myself clear on that? I'm putting this on the recording because I don't even want people who are not even here live today to mess that one up. Okay, you need to have at least 10 members with Oscar to get paid, preferably 20, because that way, no matter what state you're in, you're going to get paid with Oscar. Oscar's the only one that's doing that funny stuff right now. So the next thing that I start with is silver plans. I always like starting with silver plans. Why? Anybody want to answer why?
Do they have the cost sharing reduction?
Because they have the most cost sharing reduction and they have the most benefits for the plans. Correct. Okay. Now, if I do this and I click on silver and these prices are like $200, $300, depending how much money that family makes, I may then, go back and click on expanded bronze or gold and stuff like that. But for the first shot, I'm always going to go with silver. And then we're going to go through the plans. Okay. Now, this is how I read it to the individual. This company is Ambetter. Monthly premium is $0. Deductible of $0. There is no drug deductible. Maximum out of pocket is $1,350. If you don't know what that means, just highlight it, and you can read that out to them. An out of pocket maximum is the most amount. Once you reach this out of pocket maximum, you pass with 100%. You can read that out to them. Okay. Doctor visit, no charge. Specialist, $15. Generic drugs, no charge. Okay. Any questions on how to read these? Let's get on. I'm sorry, this is like boring for you. Basic 101, but sometimes you gotta land the plane, right? All right. So once you do that, you can compare up to 5 plans. So let's say I clicked on this one. I like this one. This looks good, right? Let's go with the next one. This one, 0, 0, which is very similar to that one. Max out of pocket is $2,000 versus $1,350. Doctor visits, no charge. Specialist is $10. Generics, no charge. Okay. I like that one too. Let's check that one. And then we have this one. Max out of pocket is $1,250. Okay. We'll go there. Now, just because you have these low numbers, that doesn't mean that they're the best plans. Okay. I'm going to tell you there's going to be some plans that are going to be a little higher on the deductible, but then you have more benefits in the back end. But here, like for example, you see this one here, it says $116, $0 deductible, drug deductible $200, out of pocket $800. Let's say this family is going to have a surgery, right? Let's say they know they have to have a hernia surgery, or they're going to have what's that called? This septum, when the septum is whatever. But whatever, they're going to have surgery. Well, you got to do the math. 116 times 12 plus maximum out of pocket of 800. You're looking at about $2,000, right? Does that make sense? It's a mathematical equation. Okay. Did I get too advanced mathematics on you guys? Dr. Eugene, are you still with me?
I'm here. I understand.
Okay, cool. And then you have plans like this one that includes adult vision and dental. So once you picked out a few of them, you got 5 to choose to put in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You click on compare plans, and this is going to give you a side-by-side comparison straight down the line. Okay. So here, $0 across the board. This one's $120. It's $0 across the board for deductible. MOOP, you have $1,350. You have $800, $1,495. Star rating is not really a big deal right now, especially because Ambetter is not star rated yet. You need to be 5 years in the marketplace. That doesn't really matter. Primary care, no charge, $5, $10, no charge. Okay. Boom. And you go through this with the client and you figure out what's important to them and what's not important to them, right? So it looks like this one here, Silver Focus or Focused Silver, may be the winner chicken dinner for this family. Any questions there? Okay. Down here you have a summary of benefits. I always download the summary of benefits and email it to them. Okay. That way they can't come back there and say, oh, I didn't know, whatever. All right. Once you click on that, pause recording. Add to cart. Add to cart. Start application. You're going to put in the information of the individual, of the head of household. Put in the information head of household. Okay. And then you're going to click on this. Now here, once you do this, it's going to tell you if there's an application there or not. Okay. If there's an application there or not. This is the part where I'm going to pause because I told you guys, you got to be live so you can see that. But here, once you fill out the application down here, it's going to say either there is no application for that person in that state, or there is an application for that person in that state. If there is an application for that person in that state, you could use that application. listen to me carefully. This is a word of experience guy here. You could use that application and go through the entire application if the application has a plan already, and that is the best plan for that family. Let's say it's a Focus Silver, and you go through that whole process, and at the end, you attach your NPN, that client becomes yours. Okay? Why did I spend the past 2 years in Texas? Because there was about 16 million people that had ACAs that did not have an AOR attached to them. Okay? That's how I built that book of business pretty fast. All right? Any questions to that? All right, folks. Once you do that, by the way, there's a current download consent form here. I'm highly.
Armando, I have a question for that.
Yes, sir.
So let's say if I did this for my client and someone have go through, it can change too.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh. I
Welcome,
thought they fix it.
welcome to the Wild Wild West. They have tried to fix it, and they're working on it. One day they're going to get it right. So 20 to 30% of the applications will have a pop-up that you have to call CMS, right? Ms. Gill, I don't know if you're doing this. Some of my agents are calling CMS directly with the client and saying to CMS that they are the agent of record. I don't know if that's helping.
Yes, they are. And also it gives a link as well to send to the client for them to finish and complete. And then it changes it back to you as the AOR,
Yeah,
agent of record.
yeah. So, but it's still Wild Wild West, guys, and it will be for a while. Okay, ACA is still going to be Wild Wild West for a while. Medicare's been around since FDR, so they got all the CMS got it right with Medicare pretty much for the most part. Obamacare, they're still trying to figure this out. Okay, but anyways, guys, that's the basics of this. Like I said, once you start writing, try to stick to like, as long as it's in the best interest of the client, try to stick to like a particular carrier, because that way that you hit those numbers, especially like with Ambetter, with Oscar, you hit those numbers, and then you're gonna have those bonuses coming in the back end. Okay. Any questions, comments, or concern at this time? All right. So here's what I'm going to tell you guys. I'm an old network marketer guy, right? And in network marketing, I know some of you guys like kind of want to throw up in your mouth when you hear that word, and some of you guys get excited when you hear that word. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to tell you about a system that I learned in network marketing. Put your mask on first. Today, if this is your first time doing ACA, you should go in there and write your plan for you and your family. Then you should start calling all of your friends and family, mom, dad, next door neighbors, kids you went to school with, high school with, people that you know. That's the easiest way to learn this business, is to actually get in front of people and do the work. Okay? I know some of you guys want to get creative. Like, oh, I need a $10,000 marketing budget from here and there, and I want to do this, and I want to go, get the Goodyear balloon and put my name on the Goodyear balloon. That's cute. But right now, every single one of you, without exception, has at least 100 to 200 people on your phone that you can write in the next 30 to 60 days. Without exception. Y'all follow me what I'm saying? So it's important that you get after this. I know that there's a lot of stuff distracting us right now, right? We got a lot of things going on in the world, right? Elections and bull crap. I promise you, it doesn't matter who gets elected tonight. If you have a solid book of business, you're still going to get paid. I know the politicians say, oh, this guy's going to take away this and that girl's going to take away that or this. Guys, Obamacare and Medicare ain't going nowhere for at least our lifetime. Maybe our kids' lifetime, but for our lifetime, it's not going nowhere. Go build your book of business. Let me hit this real quick because I think I saw it in here, and I just want to go over the rates. Okay. And again, if you need this and you're watching the recording, just send me a text message with your email and I'll forward this to you. But let's go down this real quick. So oops, I hate when I do that. So if you're in Florida, Aetna's paying $20 PMPM. This is PMPM, per member per month. Ambetter's paying 30 PMPM. If you're in Georgia, actually, Aetna's paying a little bit better. Okay. Ambetter's paying 30 for 2025. Georgia, you guys got Anthem over there. Okay, 5-member maximum per account. So that they caught on to us. I know I've been saying this forever, guys. I dedicate my life to the Black community and to the Spanish community because we got a lot of kids, right? And we add up that quickly, that member count, right? So they caught us. Anthem caught us. Miss Gail, they caught us, Miss Gail. Maximum 5 members. So if you got a 10-member household, you only get paid 5 on that particular application. Okay. Cigna, we're looking at 27 in Florida, 22 in Georgia. Molina's only in Florida, not in Georgia, so 27. Ohio, I think Ohio's in here too. Ohio's down here, line 33. Damn. All right. Oscar's paying 25, 18 for you guys in Ohio. United dropped a little bit this year. It went from 28 to 27, but it's still decent PMPM. And Dan, you're down at $20 over there for $18 renewals. Move to Florida, buddy. You got to move to Florida. That's where the money's at. Indiana, I don't know what Indiana looks like, but anyways, I'll forward this to you guys if you guys need this. Indiana 17. Tracy, you
Yes,
look pretty
please
solid.
forward.
Yeah. It's in the email. If you put your email in the chat, I already sent it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the email. So anyways, so that's the numbers, guys. I mean, on average, it's $25 PMPM. If you're in Florida and Texas, that's really where I spend a lot of time in as far as building that book of business. $25 PMPM, guys, think about it. You know, you get a family of 4, that's $100 a month pay raise. Right? I see so many people on our team got $700, $1,000 a month coming in with a bull crap effort. I'm telling you guys, whatever your number is, you want to make $5,000 a month, just do the math. You want to do $10,000 a month, do the math. Let's say you want to make $5,000 a month, right? $5,000 a month. You need about 200 clients. There's 200 clients on your phone right now. Every single one of you guys. You follow what I'm saying? You want 10,000 a month, you need 400 clients. There's at least 200 on your phone. And go to Walmart, walk around town, talk to people, right? Sign them up. Sign them up. All right. This is not my most motivational talk today, but I just want to make sure that you guys are on point with what needs to be done. These are other areas that we are into. If you need any of these contracts, just let contracting know. We've expanded now in certain states. Indiana, you have Pacific, whatever, stuff like that, so on and so forth. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns from the peanut gallery?
Armando, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
When you get contract with a company last year, do you need to renew it, or is already?
And in ACA, great question, Doc. In ACA, an Affordable Care Act, the only thing you need to do is FFM. Okay, if you are contracted with them and you haven't done anything differently, you should be good to go. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, but you do need to do your FFM for 2025.
I did it.
You're good to go then. Rock and roll, make some money.
Okay. But in Georgia, we have Georgia Access. So do you do on Georgia Access or still on Powerhouse?
We do Georgia Access, absolutely. I'm going to kick it over to the great Mr. Surf, so he can tell you guys how to do that, what to do that. There's a couple of ways of doing that. Let me pause the recording. Actually, let's do the legit way first, and then I'll pause the recording for the other way.
Okay, guys. So for Georgia, if you are doing the Georgia Access, let me see how I can. Well, I'll tell you about it. What you need to do is just go on Google and you can put in Georgia healthcare agent portal, and you'll see one there that says Georgia Access Marketplace, and in there you will see that you can sign up and just go through the process. It's not hard to do. It is the same as if you've ever do Medicare, it's the same as Humana. It literally looks exactly like the way you did it when you did it with Humana. You have to click through all the screens. Took it takes maybe about an hour and 30 minutes if you really get on it. Um, it's 8 modules, and inside of each module, you just have to move next one, complete, move to the next one, and it'll tell you when it's time to move over. Then you have, there you go. That's it right there.
Is that one?
I believe so because it's hard to see on my screen. Give me a second. Let me make this put this on the big.
That's it. That's the correct one.
That's the correct one. Yeah, that looks right.
Mhm.
Yep, right there. That is the right one. Uh, so you would log in as an agent and just go through the process. It really is not complicated to do at all. You go through there, you answer all the questions, you do all the things you need to do, and you could have it done, like I said, within um, maybe an hour and a half. Like I said, agents right there.
So for partners and agents, you click there,
Mhm.
boom.
And then just scroll, keep going. Nope, you went too far. Go up a little bit. Okay, by the way, if you notice the EDE, it does accept Health Sherpa. All right. So make sure on your Health Sherpa that you have that on there, right? That way you don't have to download anything extra. You click right there for the certification and it'll open up here. If you don't have a username and password, you can do your registration. If you do have a username and password, Armando is going to go ahead and log in. And folks, you should be using your email address that you do for work as your email. That's just going to make it easy. Good job on hiding it there, buddy. And then bring it back after you've logged in. And we'll
I
see it
think
here. Go
I
ahead, Dr.
already, yeah, I did all of those. I finished, I get the certification, but I don't know for the client, do I need to go to with Health Sherpa or I need
Yeah,
to go
Sherpa.
with,
Just
Do it with Health Sherpa.
okay, got you. If
Yeah.
not, I already did the certification.
Yeah. But for those
Okay,
that don't have the certification,
okay,
uh you want to get certified here. You see down there on the bottom left where it says complete the plan year 2025 agent certification. Click on there. It does say 2 hours and 40 minutes. Don't let that scare you. It honestly, when I did it, it took me about an hour and 30 minutes, give or take. But that's literally all you have to do. It's the 5 modules. And honestly, it is pretty quick. Okay. Then you download your certificate and you get this pretty certificate here. Yay! Signed by the governor. And you're good to go. But you can use Health Sherpa as your EDE for your writing and all of your everything.
okay. Thank you.
and whoever needs it, um, that's the way to do it. So that's all she wrote, folks. ACA 101 basics, Florida, Georgia, Texas, Indiana, Maryland, everywhere you are. Folks, again, what's your goals? I used to do a lot of mindset training. We have gone away from that a little bit because I know you guys are busy, and I go in there and I just crunch out, how-tos, right? We've been doing that for a while now, but what are your goals? What is your personal goal? It's not my goal. It really has nothing to do with my goal. It has to do with what is your goal? Do you want to fire your boss? Do you want to retire your spouse? Do you want to buy a better house, better car? Do you want to have better vacations, right? I know that we're in political season and everybody has an opinion and stuff like that, but I will tell you that your income in this country at this present moment in time, you got to check the scoreboard, and your income is the scoreboard. So the more residual income you got coming in every month, and I mean by residual, I know some of you guys do very well doing annuities. Some of you guys do very well selling life insurance. Some of you guys do very well, doing a bunch of real estate and this and that and the third. But at the end of the day, if you stop selling life insurance, how long can you live without having to see another client? I'll tell you, with the health insurance, what I fell in love with is the residual part of it. Okay. We got people on the team making $32,000, $35,000 a month. And they don't work all year long. I can tell you there's one in particular that only works during annual enrollment period. He doesn't even work, Roy. Right? And he's at $32,000 a month. We got some people on the team at $21,000 a month. Right? I can tell you that $21,000 a month pays the bills, and you don't have to go hustle every single day for it, right? Now, if you like your boss, you really enjoy being told what to do, what time to go to lunch, blah, 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 then continue doing that, right? Do this part-time. Make a little bit of extra money so you can supersize when you go to McDonald's. At the end of the day, it's up to you. It's your goals. We're here to serve you. We're here to help you get to your goals, to your dreams. Build a book of business that you feel comfortable with. I want to leave you with this. My mentor many years ago, and met him, Bobby Boyson. Bobby Boyson said, "My goals is big enough to fit whatever goals you want. If you want a $10,000 a year income, we can help you get there. If you want a $50,000 a year income, we can help you get there. If you want $300,000 or $1 million a year income, we can help you get there. We don't call nobody losers if you're not making, whatever we think that you should be making. It's no longer about that. It's about your particular goals. But I can tell you guys right now, it is go time. Go build your book of business. Go get to that income that frees you. And then life is good after that. I'd love to help you. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a text message. If you guys here online live, I'm going to pause this and answer any questions that you may have. Those of you guys watching the recording, let's get you free so you can get away from that JOB and you can be on my live calls. That's not the reason why. Go get free. Love you guys. Talk to you later. For those of you guys who are live, stick around with me. I'm going to answer any questions you have.